In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix, and we're just discussing the new driver lineup. Let's talk about Mia. They've just moved to Toro Rosso. How do you think they'll get on?
Well, I think this came as something of a surprise to most of us, but it could end up being a bit of a coup for the team. Getting a driver with experience higher up in the field might just be the boost they need, and I'm sure they'll be a big asset as the team continues to develop their car.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Max Verstappen and Magnussen, Raikkonen, Weber, Grosjean and Valtteri Bottas, Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Alexander Albon and Norris, Butler, Gasly, Robert Kubica and George Russell. Mir and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, don't worry about making places into one, it's far too tight. Concentrate on a clean exit so you get good momentum down the Camel Straight. Some minor damage. That's a decent start. Good job. cars at the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Right, some information on Grosjean. They're retiring from the race. Illegal maneuver. Cede that position or will receive a penalty. Okay, clear. Some information on Gasly. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available. Issue with the control electronics box. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components. Is 14.1 seconds. They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them. Your brakes are in the optimum temperature zone. Engine off, engine off.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Lance Stroll certainly put in an impressive performance today. No doubt his team and fans are extremely proud.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing. It looked like you had a few mechanical hiccups during that race. It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? That crash looked pretty serious. Can you walk me? How are you finding things at your new team? Are you settling in? Great. Well, that's everything.
Commiserations on that result. It's been a tough weekend. Looks like Lucas has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your history with him for the press and expand your reputation.
Here we are then, the calm before the storm, as we wait for this field of iconic cars to burst into life for the historic invitational event today. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to be here and welcome along to all of you at home as well. So grab a cup of tea and get ready as our competitors make their final preparations.
Congratulations on your success in the Invitational events. It might not help you in the championship standings, but it definitely helps to build your reputation.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Raikkonen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Let's talk about Mia. They recently gave an interview with a less than glowing evaluation of the team's performance. What's your opinion on that?
Anyone who publicly criticises their team is walking a dangerous line. Sure, sometimes people need a kick up the rear, but more often than not, they need support and encouragement. I can't imagine they made many friends back at the factory with those remarks.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Giovinazzi and Kevin Magnussen, Stroll, Gasly, Alexander Albon and Norris, Faber, Kubica, George Russell and Devon Butler. They've taken a grid penalty. Mia and Kimi Räikkönen finishes off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, this is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today. Okay, you need to give that position back. That was an illegal overtake. Start. Fantastic. 2 cars at once. Very well done. power from the engine is going to be down slightly and showing some minor wear. Expect a lot of understeer unless we replace it. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Green flag. Race over. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Some information on Vettel, they are out of the race. Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Is 25.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:35.5. Gap to the car ahead is 20.2 seconds. behind us is 14.9 seconds. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. There's 8 laps of fuel remaining. A new strategy is available on the MFT. Our gap to the car in front is 2.5 seconds. Some information on paper. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car. Got that confirmed? Nice work, that brings you up a place. Is looking really good. You're managing it well. Green flag. Gap ahead is 1.9 seconds. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. to teammate behind is 4.1 seconds. To the car behind is 7.5 seconds. Leading our teammate by 18.9 seconds. They're on fresh hards. They're in 11th. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, you're in the top 10. Okay, we're not seeing any issues with tyre wear right now. You should have good grip for a while yet. Our gap behind is 11.9 seconds. You have P3. Perez is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 4.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hamilton behind. Okay, the gap behind is 11.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 7.7 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. In P3, Perez ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 4.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hamilton is behind you. The gap behind us is 13.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The distance to the leader is 7.7 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Front is 3.7 seconds. We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mia. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today, as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Do you have any comments about the collisions? Are incidents like today putting a strain on your friendship with your old F2 teammate? Great. Well, that's everything.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
What do you think of this one?
It's time for us to settle down and the drivers below to get fired up. Once again, welcome to Singapore as we get ready for the green light and the start of what should be a fantastic qualifying session. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Mir, Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
I recommend we could go for something like this.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and the 10 rights of mostly slow corners. But we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Mia lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Lewis Hamilton and Perez, Weber, Norris, Butler and Kimi Raikkonen, Albon, Grosjean, Daniel Ricciardo and Magnussen, Gasly, Bottas, Lance Stroll and Antonio Giovinazzi. Russell and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And now, it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. Seeing major. Okay, we can take you this lap. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. Let me know you're okay. Engine off, engine off. go. You'll be racing on the exit. Release, release. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Reached a worrying level of wear on the internal combustion engine. Let's try and keep the revs down. Early upshifts, later downshifts. To the engine now. Just be aware, we're keeping an eye on it. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. Fastest lap of the race so far. Lucas is in P4 at the moment. The gap is 38.1 seconds. They're on old softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 50.2. Okay, gap ahead is 2.9 seconds. damage. We'll have a harder time keeping up with you. Keep pushing. We're running in excess of fuel. We can turn up the engine to mix mode 3 if you need it. Turn fuel to rich. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Nice move. Is in first position. P1, the difference is 24.4 seconds. They're on old softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:51.2. You're in fourth position. Verstappen ahead. Gap to car in front is 2.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hamilton behind. The gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. The gap to the leader is 14.1 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 9 laps to go. The gap to the car ahead is 2.4 seconds. Gap to teammate ahead is 13.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in first. The time last lap was a 1:51.9. Check your MFD. Take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. Is 21.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in first. The time last lap was a 1:52.0. Pierre is in for his stop. Continue to cut corners, the stewards will give you a penalty. Okay, clear. has front wing damage. Front wing damage. rate of about 2 seconds a lap. A new strategy is available on the MFD. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Our gap to the car in front is 4.0 seconds. Is 35.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 51.1. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. race. Cede that position or receive a penalty. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Confirmed. This is your final lap of the race. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly well-deserved win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc assumes the lead in the standings after today's outstanding result. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations. That looked like quite a knock. How did you feel when you saw your old rival from F2 have to withdraw from today's race? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Great. Well, that's everything.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
So let's review the updated drivers.
That's very disappointing. I know you can do better than that. Take stock of what went wrong so you can get a better result next time. Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation. Good thinking. Maybe there are better options elsewhere. Our proposal has been accepted, so start saying your goodbyes. You'll be moving to the new team for the next...
Alright, listen up everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful. So let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
Welcome to your new team. As you're well aware, Mercedes have been mighty over the past few years, so there's going to be a lot expected of you right from the start.
What do you think of this one? I recommend we could go for something like this.